So
Mhm.
I was what I would say is more the quote unquote skinny fat, where not much muscle
Mhm.
mass, but lean or skinny, but really no muscle to show for it and a terrible relationship with food. So that
Mhm.
was like probably at its climax in college, and then post grad, it's like I had the knowledge of working out, of training, and even some in the nutrition department. But it wasn't until like I post grad really started to focus on strength training, heavy lifting, not being afraid of heavy weights, pulling back on the cardio, and then really fueling my body, especially with protein, things like that. But not being afraid of food and not being afraid of muscle was when I experienced food freedom, and
Mm.
I got more lean and fit and, looked more in shape, looked more of the part where I was like, wow, I can do like 60% of the work I was doing before and get better results. This is great. so, so
Which
yeah,
what
that's
did
kind
you
of,
think was?
I think growing up, I was a 90s baby. So like I grew up around my mom and my grandma, doing all the diets, the Weight Watchers over and over again, like all the things, whereas like food was always viewed as like the enemy. Or I can still remember my grandma, God love her, like she was one of my best friends, but she would tell me like I would eat like a whole thing of Nutella, and she'd be like, well, you can do that now because you're young and your metabolism's good, but you just wait. It's like, so it's like those messages that you hear from, like, even if they're well intended, where food is like, oh, dangerous, less is better. Like, yeah, less is more, it's like less is better, eating the 1,200 calorie diet or less, more activity, like it's just a calorie deficit, just move your body more. So those were all the messages that I heard around food versus being like, actually, you need adequate food and fuel to build muscle. You can't do that. Like I work with a lot of clients who they are already doing the training piece. Like the training piece is there, it's in place, but I'm like, if you're not fueling right, you're not going to be able to achieve that body composition that you want. And your relationship with food, you probably feel very stuck and restricted because you think less is better. So it's just a really beautiful thing. That's personally how I found that food freedom, and now how my clients do too, is you realize that food is not the enemy. And actually, when you do start increasing calories in an intentional way and looking at macronutrients and like the breakdown and how it's supporting your goals, it actually, you realize, oh my gosh, like I can eat more food and I'm not going to blow up like the Michelin man. Like this is a really
Yeah.
cool thing.